just coming back from a special screening of Batman, the latest version of Batman, the Dark Knight Rises, and what a spectacular film! I went with a completely open mind. I did not, see any of the reviews. I did not read anything which was written about the film. I went with a completely open mind, and I would say I was floored. The entire larger than life canvas, the entire the visuals, the way the film progresses. Yes, it is quite long, and comparatively, especially when I take when you look at Hollywood standards, typically a 165-minute film is quite an exception. But having said that, it's not like I was bored. It was the film moved. Yes, the storyline is somewhat it jumps from various aspects, and the overall setting itself is new. There's a new villain out there. There was no Bane in the previous two versions, and yes, this film is a befitting finale to the entire trilogy, and that way Christopher Nolan, I really would say, has done a spectacular job, a marvelous job. And the film stood out for me in so many different ways. Hans Zimmer's overall score for the film, brilliant, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And Tom Hardy's portrayal of the villain, that was also fantastic. uh, Christian Bale, he's kind of getting probably a little older, and of course the character Batman itself, this Batman is supposedly 8 years from the previous one, Dark Knight. So therefore obviously he's shown to be somewhat older, and what I really liked about the film was the fact that there's a certain physical vulnerability which is portrayed in the case of Batman this time, and that somehow makes me realize relate to Batman much better. I see him as, at the end of the day, one, like just like us, not particularly a superhuman, but a human who also has his weaknesses, physical weaknesses, as much as all of us do. So that was something which I particularly liked, and I eventually, later on, after I saw the film, I was reading up a bit, and there were some quarters which some people seem to be talking about this as a negative, but I don't know. I found the jumpiness of the storyline. I found it very attractive. I found the darkness of the entire canvas very attractive. I found the additional characters, especially the villain and the female actresses who've been introduced, as something which added to the positive experience which I felt for the film. So overall, I would say that in many ways, I actually found the movie really good in every possible way. And you know, final question, whether you should watch it or not, I would definitely recommend. And for me in India, it was nothing short of a privilege. This time, The Dark Knight Rises, in fact, has a small portion shot in India, in Jodhpur, the Mehrangarh Fort, and to see that towards the beginning of the film, you feel really nice, and just in some ways, maybe it makes you feel biased, but at the end of the day, we in Bollywood, we are getting there. Films like Ravan have kind of also catapulted the entire superhero scheme of things, but Hollywood being Hollywood, Hollywood having the kind of budgets which they have, having directors like Christopher Nolan, I think he's such a perfect director for this series and this genre of movies. So hats off to the entire team. Morgan Freeman, Michael Caine, they're veterans of this Batman series, and they've all done such a good job. So just go out there, watch it. Don't bother too much about reviews which you read or whatever negatives you might hear. I don't think I liked it a lot, and I didn't find even the length, if at all you can say that, oh, it's too long, but length should always be taken in terms of, whether that affects your overall experience of the film. Do you get bored? Titanic as a Hollywood film was even longer. It was longer than 3 hours, but the world loved it. So I don't think there's anything wrong with the Batman, the latest movie, and the finale of the trilogy, the Dark Knight Rises. If it's a little longer than the norm, because it's not exceptionally long, and at the same time, it's not like the story drags on and you're bored. There's always something happening. So that's something also which I really liked, and everything put together makes it, a befitting finale, in the sense that yes, we are pretty much done with things, and the entire way in which Gotham City plays up, and yes, Bane's visual with that thing, that mask covering his face. At times, I felt that his speech was not, very clearly audible. He seemed to sound like Uncle Scrooge, or Donald Duck from the Walt Disney characters. But other than that, that's something which kind of struck me a little bit. But overall, I still would say that this was a fantastic movie. I loved it completely, and I'm being completely honest. This is a very honest review. I'm simply sharing my feelings. And I saw late night show. It's even later now, and it's everything is very fresh in my mind. So I didn't want to delay it. So it's really late, but still I wanted to make this video and share my thoughts, my opinions about this film. So go ahead and watch it, and I'm pretty sure that if you're a Batman fan, and especially if you've seen the previous two Batman movies, Batman Begins and The Dark Knight, you will particularly, I think, you will enjoy this. So go ahead and watch it with an open mind. I'm sure you'll love it. Cheers.